Well, hello. My name is Professor Tom Berry. I'm the instructor for the class. Welcome you to SOC250. I am here to basically help you out, help guide you, provide perspective. I think the class is structured in a way that I think you'll find very easy to navigate, especially after you go through the first couple weeks. Usually the first few weeks of anything are the most difficult, right? Just trying to figure out requirements, how best to prepare, all those different kind of things. So my goal with this video, keep it short, maybe 10 minutes, just to provide you a little bit of background about the class, a little bit of background about me, and then just make sure you are moving in the right direction. If ever you have any questions or you want to talk about the course content, you have ideas you want to share, please contact me. I'm here to support you. I want this class to be meaningful to you, and I don't want you to get hung up on things that are just not very worthwhile to spend time trying to figure out, right? So if there's any technological problems or issues you can't figure out, or just like unclear about concepts and ideas, yeah, contact me. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Well, let me give you a little bit of background about me, just a real quick bio. I started off my educational pathway, communication studies. I knew I wanted to teach at a community college. Graduated from the University of Kansas back in the 1980s in speech communication. Moved to California, got married, moved to California. Went to Cal State Fullerton, a master's in speech communications teaching all throughout that program. After that, we moved to Arizona for a year. I taught at Pima Community College teaching speech comm. My wife and I decided to go to Kansas City area. She wanted to do some different work. We went back there. I went into a master's in social work program, still teaching part-time at a local community college. Eventually graduated with my MSW, became a licensed clinical social worker, worked at a community mental health center in Kansas City. I did that for a few years. Eventually took a full-time teaching job outside of Wichita, Kansas. My wife and I and our oldest son now, Zach, we moved there. Taught there for 7 years. During the last 4 years, I took classes towards a PhD in sociology at Kansas State University. I fell in love with sociology, just happened chance. I had an opportunity to teach a social class one term while at Hutchinson Community College, and I was just, I was in at that point. Sociology addresses a lot of different things from the micro level to the macro level. I just became really fascinated by the social world, and sociology kind of gave me, I don't know, just gave me a lot to think about, process, became more aware of a lot of different things that are going on around our world and how to think about the interaction between the individual and the self. And then my wife and I and our two kids, Zach and Matt, we moved here 16 years ago. This is a great school, thoroughly enjoy working with the students at COCC. Faculty are amazing. It's a great culture, great environment. It's a beautiful place to live on top of all that. So I come to this class that's my background. It's kind of my experience. My dissertation work, my research was in area of popular culture. So it's something that I'm deeply interested in, and I think it's really powerful and really important in terms of content. All right, so that's a little bit about me. Let me kind of I'll share my screen, and I'll kind of walk through Blackboard and the syllabus, okay? So here we go. Here is the course in Blackboard. I made this item will be available. It says the 20th right now, but I'll open it up here later on today or tomorrow. Basically jump into, oops, let me go back here a second actually. Yeah. So go to weekly schedule and assignment. That's where I found that. So I go, here's popular culture, go to the class. I did put the syllabus there. There is an announcement kind of welcoming you to the class, giving you some information. You may want to check that out. Here's all the course readings. There is no textbook. So all the readings are supplemental or readings are in PDF format. They're all in here. There's a host of other readings in there as well. So we're not going to read everything in there. So don't open that up and just get freaked out going, oh my gosh, it's just too much to read. We're not reading everything in there. That's just based on previous terms and things that may be of interest and value. So the class is, it's readings, it's podcasts. As you'll see when you look through the syllabus week by week, you'll see different things to kind of go after. yeah, anyway, no textbook, all the information is there, either links to films, links to podcasts, or the articles themselves. Okay, the weekly schedule. So what I did is opened up basically week 0, so you can kind of explore around. Here's week 0. This is a great link to a lot of resources available through COCC. Marcus Legrand is a contact person if you would benefit from a conversation regarding resources, food, housing, other supports that may be beneficial to you. Kind of earmark this, check it out. If you have questions, contact Marcus. He'd be a great person to talk with. I put this together. This is just about, just some key strategies and ideas about how to be successful online class. The more prepared you are, create a schedule, stick to that schedule, be diligent, reach out if you have questions. I think those are sort of the main ideas. That document kind of walks you through that. This document here just kind of identifies how you access your grades. I used to do a lot more written work in the class than this term. And every week there was audio feedback. There will be occasions in this class where we'll have audio feedback. So this is just telling you how to access that. Here's the syllabus. We'll click on that in a second. And then here's creating a wiki page. So as you'll see and notice that one of the assignments throughout the course of the term is a weekly wiki. I've used group discussion boards in the past, and I've always felt that discussion boards are kind of like a hoop to jump through. Maybe it's I have never figured out ways to best structure them. There's a little bit of, there's value in them, but it didn't seem like it didn't create the value that I wanted. So I was looking at, and a couple different things I'm looking with this group wiki. Group wiki is kind of this idea where the first half of the term you're going to be in there's going to be in a group of 4 to 6 individuals in one group. You'll be part of that group. And my hope would be that that group, you're going to find a little bit of more connection, because it's the same people every week, right? So with this, I want you to use each other as a resource, connect with each other. You have a support system there. You're developing connections, and connections are important in life. They're important in classes. And that's one of the main kind of reasons of doing the group wiki versus the discussion board, is hopefully it's more connective, more interactive than a discussion board would be. And this is just kind of like playing around. So click on here if you've never done a wiki page. Click on here, kind of walk you through some directions. That way you're kind of familiar with it when you get ready for the first wiki for the first week of the term. The idea of the wiki is every week I'm going to provide you kind of a question or an area. What I want you to do is either write to it, respond to it, provide images, links. You'll have in your own group, everybody will have their own page. By Thursday, I believe it is, every week. Yeah, by Thursday night, your section of the wiki is due, or your wiki is due, and then between Thursday and Sunday is going into everybody else's wiki and providing comments, reflections, more than just like, hey, nice job. I mean, you're really trying to illustrate your understanding, your depth of knowledge. Your comments should be more than, it's nice to give a pat on the back to someone, tell them good job, but then to be able to bring in information from the class, observations from material that we've covered in this current week or previous weeks, and to be able to demonstrate your knowledge. So that's what I'm looking for, and I'm like looking at these wikis is looking for your level of understanding and depth of exploration. So the wikis, yeah, it's a way to kind of provide an opportunity to address the things that we're working on, talking about in class, and for you all to connect with each other in a different format, in a different way. Okay, so that's everything going on here in terms of Blackboard. Let me open up the syllabus and kind of walk through, oops, I think I actually have it open up down here. Walk through the syllabus with you. Okay, so here we go. I may have office hours. Spring term is kind of, what I found out is just let students know, hey, look, I'm available to you. Contact me. I'm not going to keep a Zoom session opened up from 1 to 3:30. That's when you can guarantee if you drop me an email and say, hey, look, I want to meet Tuesday, Thursday, that time works great. But if you want to meet at some other time, we'll make it happen. So don't let that restrict you those times. Okay, let's kind of walk through the requirements of the class. We're going to have weekly quizzes or reading prompts. The quizzes are designed to encourage you to read, encourage you to be prepared for the quiz, take notes over the article, the podcast. Because the more prepared you are for the quiz, not only the more likely you are to be successful in that quiz, but you're preparing yourself for the midterm and the final. The midterm and the final are written, they're essay style midterm and finals. The more devoted you are to the quizzes, I think the more prepared you will be, and the easier time you'll have with the midterm and the final exam. The midterm and the final, they're not meant to be difficult, they're just meant to be comprehensive, to identify main themes and issues that we've talked about or we've worked on throughout the course. They're meant to provide a platform for you to demonstrate your knowledge and your understanding. So work on being prepared for the quizzes. Once you start a quiz, you have to finish it. It has to be finished by midnight or 11:59 on the assigned due date. If you started at 11:50 and it gets to be 11, at midnight, it will automatically save regardless of what question you are on. And once you start, you have to finish. And I give enough time to allow you the opportunity to go back into the article or look over your notes and responding to questions, but not enough time where you can actually just open up a question, kind of read through everything to try to find the answer. So preparation is going to be key in terms of those quizzes. Okay, I've already talked about the group wiki. It's going to take, just kind of be patient with me. I've done wikis before, but it's been a little while. I will try to get those set up as soon as I can on week 1. And as I mentioned, it's about a way to demonstrate your level of understanding. And I want you to look for images, video links, all these different kind of things to make it more enriching. It's a platform to hopefully to bring out some of the ideas in class to make it a little bit more, to provide some more illustrations could be provided that we can learn from each other. It's also a platform to let you know if you have questions for each other or you have questions for me that you think everyone would benefit from, you can put a note there, or observations, and that might be helpful for me as a way to just another vehicle to communicate with me. All right, I've talked about the midterm and the final, basically kind of like essay style kind of stuff. Equal opportunity compliance, ADA compliance. If you do have a documented disability, let me know and make accommodations as necessary, or that would be beneficial for you. This is Marcus LeGrand. I mentioned him in terms of the resources for the class. Here's his contact information. Very valuable person to be in contact with. Academic honesty, here's the policy. Basically do your own work. If there ever becomes an infraction in terms of plagiarism and cheating, it's taken seriously, and there's code of rights and responsibilities for you as a student. Expectations are to engage with each other, to engage with me in a professional manner, to be respectful of differences, whether that's differences of opinions and ideas or just differences between individuals. Building community versus building distrust and alienation. So challenge each other, challenge me, but make sure that we're doing so in a respectful manner. And then you go through the week by week, okay? So here's the 3 readings for the week. They're all available in Blackboard under that, on the left-hand side of the Blackboard, course menu item, additional articles. You have the attendance requirement, must be done by Thursday by noon, or you'll be dropped from the class, so make sure you do that. Actually, I'm going to change that to Wednesday. Now keep it Thursday at noon, is the way it is there. Yeah, so then the group wiki, that's going to be required. It's going to be due. I'm going to go back. Sorry about this. I'm going to change this to Wednesday, just to make sure I know who's going to be in the class. I'm going to have a Wednesday at midnight. So make sure you complete it by Wednesday at midnight. That way I can create the groups before then, but also make sure that everybody's placed in a group for the first group wiki, which is due on Thursday. You have 2 quizzes. One of them is over the Call Me article, and one of them is the Grazian article, or actually both of them. So 1 quiz over this one quiz over both of these here. And then Here's all the basically kind of walk through the class. This is kind of the topics. As you can see, we're going to do some podcasts, look at podcasts, do some, reading articles, watching films. I encourage you to look through the syllabus, look at all the topics, the things that we'll be kind of addressing throughout the course of the term. We'll spend a few weeks on advertising and branding. I think that's such an important area to sort of explore and understand, in part because it's like understanding consumption, understanding the development of industrialization, impact of consumption on our identities and ourselves, how things have kind of changed and morphed over the years in terms of advertising and marketing. And it's become this thing that really shapes kind of, our life experience, understanding of self and other ideas, wants, desires, all these different kind of things. Okay, that's basically it. I'm taking a lot of your time. I don't want to, kind of be sensitive to screen time. So that's basically a layout of the class. Welcome to the class. Let me know if you have questions. I'm going to leave another video that addresses for week one lecture over those articles. So when week one folder opens up, which will open up on Friday at midnight, it'll open up, give you access to week one stuff. Encourage you to watch the videos before you take the quizzes. I usually cover kind of main ideas in the weekly lecture, provide you kind of a background, give you the overall perspective of the readings and things that we're talking about that particular week. I will talk about some main concepts, ideas, things that may come up during class that maybe have provided that there was some confusion around, things like that. So the lectures, I think, will help you get situated for the week. They'll help you kind of gain an understanding, and they'll also help prepare you for the quizzes. And then finally, I had one more thought, one more idea. Finally, I don't remember what it was. If you have questions, let me know. Welcome to the class. Take care, be safe, be well, and I look forward to working with you throughout the course of the term. Thanks a lot.